don't know because I didn't eat it. I left the party. I had actually bought a second cake from a bakery that Yohan really loves, and it was like his favorite kind of cake. And when I came home, I was so fucking mad that I ate the other cake. Not the whole thing, but I like took a bite out of it instead of putting a candle on it and singing to him. And then the next morning I kind of just threw it at him and was like, here's your other cake, you're a dick. True story. So I consider any and all opportunities that come my way. I know that people are like, why would anyone do reality television? This must be hell. But it's actually really interesting. I feel like I've met so many amazing people as a result of this show. I love the crew that I work with. And I think I've learned a lot about myself. So, and I also think like it forces me to be mindful of my relationship too, in a way that I would never have to be if I didn't do this. So there's a lot of reasons why I would. There's also a lot of reasons why I wouldn't. So I say that I'd always consider it, but who knows? This is a really interesting question. I'm not sure if I understand it. I think what you're trying to ask is if I feel like how I'm portrayed on TV is an accurate representation of who I think I am. I think that's what you're asking. And I think that my answer to that is I'm a very multifaceted human. I am both loving and supportive and encouraging. And I will also fucking kill a bitch if they disrespect me or violate my boundaries in any way. And so I think that what you see on TV is like a very specific element of my personality because it's very entertaining and it sparks a lot of conversation. My dog is like having a nightmare and barking in his sleep. It's adorable. But I think that I'm multifaceted, and I think that I know who I am. And I think that if the question is, do I not know who I am? The answer is no. I absolutely very much know who I am. So this is going to be a couple of videos. So the first thing is, I absolutely think that it is okay to be friends with someone who you've dated in the past. If for whatever reason the two of you aren't compatible and the relationship didn't end in a negative way or in an angry way and it ended amicably for whatever reason, and these people still have something that they can contribute to your life, or you have something that you can contribute to their life, I don't see any problem with maintaining a friendship as if you are secure in your current relationship. And I have received countless messages from people who feel the same way. In addition, I just went on a family trip on Saturday where I was with my partner's nephew, his girlfriend, and his ex-girlfriend, and they broke up like a month ago, and now there's a new girlfriend. But everybody was there because the ex was a part of the family, and it's like, this is just what it is. And when I pointed that out to my partner, I was like, do you see the irony here? I got, whoa. So like, it's really not that serious. I would absolutely love to meet any of Yohan's exes. In fact, if you have dated Yohan and you would like to have dinner with me, please send me a DM, because the three of us will have dinner and I will learn so much. Like, I think that you learn about people, not necessarily from what they tell you, because they're not always straightforward. You learn by paying attention to the company that they keep, their family, their friends, who they've worked with, who they've dated. When I first met Yohan, my aunt was like, this guy's looking like this, 33 years old, in the house, no kids, like there's something up here. And the more that I learned about him, the more I was like, oh, there is, and I need to figure out what this is about. So like, I have begged to meet exes. So please, if you're out there, DM me, we'll chat. I'm 4'11" and Yohan is 6'7". He's definitely the tallest person I dated. The last person before him was like 6'5", then 6'3". What's interesting about me is when I was younger, I had like no self-esteem. I had like terrible body image issues, and I hated myself so much, and I always dated little men. And as my self-confidence grew, and as like my personality became a lot more grounded, and I became a lot more sure of myself and like knew my worth and know what I bring to the table, the men who I've dated have gotten progressively much taller, and now I have like this ginormous human, because that's what is necessary to match the crazy that I am. So this is also probably going to be a couple of videos. So when Yohan and I first started dating and we first got married, and this was covered on Love in Paradise, having a child was very important. So we had a lot of conversations about why he didn't have children yet, because his whole family is like married with kids and houses and very, like have every single one of his siblings, he's one of 5, has an established life with a wife and children, or husband and children, but he doesn't. And I was like, why is that? What's the reason? He said that he was going to marry this girl. She was 4 months pregnant. She lost the baby. And he was really devastated about it. And I got really upset about it, like when I had heard that story, because I know how badly he wants to be a father. So like the story around this child that he was going to have was a pretty elaborate story that he had shared with me. Later, after the dinner with Sophie, what I learned was that she was 6 months pregnant and she had an abortion. Now, in the Dominican Republic, abortion is illegal, and that means that she's risking her safety, her freedom, her life. The doctor is also risking the same. I didn't ask anything about the process or anything like that, but my question was, if you were about to get married and she was 6 months pregnant, which is pretty far along for an abortion, you know, regardless of how you feel about abortion, like that's really far along. You make that choice when there's a medical issue, or like if your partner does something terrible. So I was like, what the fuck did you do that made this girl make that choice? That was really why I was so upset. But that wasn't really covered in the show, which I understand why. But I was like, what happened? And he refused to tell me what happened. So like, that's a little bit different to me. It's not my business, but who he is as a partner is. So I love this question because there's hot water everywhere in my house except for my shower in my bathroom, which is extremely frustrating. And I hate it. And there's also no water pressure, and it's like not at all enjoyable. It's why my hair is always a mess. It's the one thing. I shouldn't say it's the one thing. There are a few things about this apartment that I'm not a fan of, but that's like the hardest thing. So thank you for acknowledging that. But also cold showers are better for your body, and they're better for your scalp, and they're better for your skin. And so like for that reason, I appreciate it. But whenever I go to New York and I stay at my friend's apartment, she has amazing water pressure. Shout out to Lisa and your killer fucking water pressure. I cannot wait to be in your bathroom on Sunday. That is all. So again, this is a long answer. I signed up for the show because it was an opportunity that presented itself to me very quickly. And whenever that happens in my life, that usually means it's for me. And I'm always glad that I did it. I don't regret it for a moment. It was also for like the ability to tell stories. I love storytelling, and I really trusted the producer that I was working with, and that she would tell my story in a way that was interesting. I also felt like Yohan was basically doing Jim Crow minstrels for 16 hours a day for like $8 for a major corporation. And it was really depressing for me because I knew that this man was a king, and he had just lived a very sheltered life and had no idea what he could be if he like expanded his mind a little bit. So I thought that it would be something that would open up a lot of doors and opportunities for him, and it has. And so yeah, am I nervous or scared? All the time, because I feel like people don't take me seriously in my real life as a result of it. So that hurts. But so he's Dominican, so he has like 475 cousins. So if you'd like, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a spreadsheet of all of them and their ages and what kind of visa they're looking for, and then I'll share it, because that's basically the DM that I get all the time is either a cousin who's asking me for an American wife, or an American or a Canadian who's asking me for a Dominican husband. So I think I'm going to try and maybe be a broker, like a matchmaker. Maybe that's like another arm of the Livian's platform. See, the artist way is really working for me. I'm going to add a matchmaking arm. Can't make this shit up.
Think that I would want someone to play